This video contains foul language from in-game characters and lots of blood and gore. Okay, thanks, bye. Back 4 Blood, the game that I've been waiting all year for since its official release date announcement at E3 2021 is finally here. And with the announcement and the dropping of the game on October 11th or 12th, whatever it was, it only made sense to make a video on the game itself. So I saddled up with KBVegas on her Twitch, along with her several Twitch viewers, and my mic that ended up being pretty quiet, as well as my PC that could surprisingly run it incredibly well, and even put 2 hours of my time away on a Monday night and played Back 4 Blood, and decided to truly find out if it is the Left 4 Dead successor that we have been waiting for over 10 years for. I want to first note that the entirety of this game's soundtrack is basically a DMCA strike, so hence there's not going to be much in-game music shown in this video. But with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get a move on. I immediately point out that I wish this game had a Japanese text-to-speech voice option, so that way I could live my ultimate fantasy of my waifu telling me some pretty random stuff in Japanese. Good job. Also, slight bug alert here. Apparently the actual mouse cursor here doesn't really work on the sliders. I'm putting it at like 80% on the slider, but it's actually like way over there where would 50% be. So message to Turtle Rock Studios and the guys who make this game, fix that please, unless that's just a Windows issue. Also, I decided to adjust a few minor graphic settings, and surprisingly this game's running at high. Either this game's just really well optimized or whatnot, but this actually looks pretty impressive, so I'm not going to complain. Welcome to Fort Hope, otherwise known as the last place Bill was seen after he went full psycho mode back in the Sacrifice. I chose to skip the in-game tutorial, because let's be completely real here, if I've been playing Left 4 Dead for nearly 10 years, I pretty much have a gist of how this is going to work. And then we get to choose between 4 starter characters. We have Evangelo, I guess, I don't know why Jello sounds funnier. We have Walker, which is basically the equivalent of Coach. We have Holly, which is kind of a cross blending of Rochelle and Zoe. And of course, Mom. This mom better be the best flippin' mom on the entire planet. She better have a Best Mom of the Year award as well. Then we get into the introduction cutscene. We're apparently here at this place to deliver some supplies to Renfrick, who for some unknown reason he's not going to be getting these supplies, since apparently he's got some biz and beef with Phillips, or I guess who's the guy who runs Fort Hope. Apparently then the Ridden, which is this game's zombies, start running around the place, and after conveniently making the joke of Renfrick saying that when was the last time you saw Riddens in big numbers, a Ridden crashes through the roof and pretty much kills him on the spot. And what I will say, that whoever made these scenes and these cutscenes did a pretty good job at it, so great job Turtle Rock for making these cutscenes look absolutely incredible. Then, in the middle of this hallway, some boomer-like guy, who's named a Reeker, shows up and dies instantly. Cool. We then head into this room, which I'm assuming is a kitchen, and then, well, this guy over here decides to grow some balls. Only for then 3 seconds later for those balls to be shriveled right back into his bum as Charger, Deluxe Edition, walks in. But then for some reason Mom then blows up the place through some explosives and becomes a literal god, also achieving the Mom of the Year award. Good job, Mom. Very cool. And with that, before we get into some gameplay, let me explain the super brief card system. In Back 4 Blood, you can basically get a bunch of cards and build a deck of cards, either for Survivor or Ridden-based gameplay. Those cards can have special benefits, whether that be, say, higher damage output, or better reload capacity, or higher health, or stamina, you get the gist. But it can also have negative effects, at least I think it does. The endgame director also makes its return, similar from the Left 4 Dead franchise, and will also throw out these corruption cards, which are basically the best way to help the director try to stop the survivors in their tracks. These can include things like beating certain levels and set time limits, or allowing all survivors to get to the exit without any of them being incapacitated. But also bear in mind that the higher the difficulty that you're playing on, the more corruption cards that get thrown out. And trust me, from what I've been seeing, they can get pretty nasty. With that, let's get into some gameplay. However, we're actually paired with two random players, PyXD and Kilogram023, because apparently we just gotta play in 4-player co-op for some reason. We start in this hotel, very reminiscent of Dead Center's hotel from Left 4 Dead 2, and we start clearing out Ridden using this Uzi, I guess. Quickly, I feel right at home with the gameplay of Back 4 Blood, since honestly at its core, Back 4 Blood's core gameplay is very similar to that of Left 4 Dead when you remove things like the card system, for example. You're also going to be wanting to collect things like weapon attachments found around the map, as well as other weapons and consumables and copper. I at least think it's copper. We'll assume it's copper and say that copper is used to buy items, upgrades, and more at crates in safe rooms as well as other places throughout the game. The Reeker, like mentioned before, is basically a combination of the Boomer and Spitters from Left 4 Dead series. It vomits bile from a distance, but it's also in a acidic form. I'm not entirely sure if they unload the Horde at all, but it doesn't do too much damage either. It's a blend of both. Our first level here kind of reminds me of a mix between Blood Harvest and Death Toll, with the trains and trees in the background. It's actually a pretty good setting. I also learned that there's a pretty large selection of weapons to choose from, whether you're looking from things like melee weapons to shotguns, snipers, assault rifles, pistols, the list just goes on and on. So it allows for some diversity into what kind of loadouts you're wanting to use. And after reaching the safe room, we're given the options to add more cards to our deck, as well as buy new equipment. Honestly, I actually really like the card system, since it actually provides unique ways to play the game, and can also be adjusted to fit your playstyle depending on what you're wanting to do, whether that's play as a Ridden in Swarm mode, or just play in cooperative play with your friends. Which any game really to have anything that fits your playstyle is always a nice bonus. These supply points can be used to purchase cards, items, and equipment through the supply line, which we'll get to a bit later. I also learned that you can later hold several first aid and pills at one given time, which is definitely a nice big of a step up compared to the Left 4 Dead series. Starting with the second level, we got introduced to the big chungus of all of the big chunguses in the world, and that is the Ogre. I kinda like to think of them as super tanks, because for whatever reason they also throw giant blood balls that are also explosive. So that's cool.
Oh, hey, it's that guy.
You're an ogre!
The actual tank.
Oh.
Then we came across a school bus, and looking at this school bus and just the general destruction around me, I realized just how dark this game actually is. But it also makes sense, so good job Turtle Rock on the visuals. And the vibe check, of course. The next chapter, Kilogram unfortunately left, and was replaced by a bot. So with that, say hello to Mombot. The award's gone, you're now a bot, congratulations. We then get to this train yard, and have a pretty big battle with the Ridden. And for a moment, I thought I was in World War Z, since that's how many of these dudes there were. But, you know, it wasn't World War Z, obviously. Heading into the final level of, I guess, Act 1, but it's also level 4 of Act 1, because this game's level system is really weird, we encounter a bridge, with a ferry boat that's also slammed into it. It actually creates a pretty unique chase scene and level in general, and I actually felt like I was playing the final chapter of The Parish from Left 4 Dead 2. Then, after running through said ferry and all that jazz, we actually get told that we have to run back in and plant some explosives to blow up both the ferry and the bridge. It actually makes for a pretty cool ending, and I applaud Turtle Rock for the decision to go down this route.
We got a tall boy! Reloading!
What a success. Oh boy, free cutscene.
Oh, my arms are hurting from just death.
We then get thrown into another cutscene, and get introduced to the Doc, after she's trying to save a survivor from the streets, who then turns on the spot and also gets shot immediately. Then this guy here, for some reason, sees this weird dude on crack and stumbles over some corpse, and then this chick comes in and steals his peaches. Yes, peaches. Then this chick finds this other guy, but this time he's on meth, and nearly dies, only for this sniper dude to come out and do his work.
Oh, nice.
Phil! Wait, no, Jim!
This guy over here is insane because every zombie game needs an insane guy. And with that, welcome to Fort Hope. And this town back here is also burning alive. So there's that. With that, let's explore Fort Hope while we're waiting for KB to return. This guy is writing on this clipboard, but he's also not writing at the same time, implying that he's also writing my will before I die. Seems legit. Then I found this character customizer, but unfortunately I don't have anything to customize my characters with. It's unfortunate. Here's a flag of a country. That's cringe. I then make the best deck of cards with the best name. It's pretty dope.
Deck or some crap.
Then I found this discount for Explorer. Hey, Ford, you want to get on this for DMCA purposes? Like, geez. Here's the supply line that I mentioned from earlier. If my understanding's correct, it basically allows for more options in certain levels that you could buy them for. So, say you buy weapon attachments or pills at the supply line, you might be able to find those in those levels of choosing. Not 100% sure if that's how it works, but let's hope it is. We then start the next level, sitting just outside of Fort Hope, and then this breaker busts out of this garage and wants some TLC. Then we get introduced to the Leaping Stalker, as seen here, which is basically a combination of hunters and jockeys. Then I found this really realistic image, and I'm honestly wondering who at Turtle Rock's office had to render this, since it's clear that it really wanted to focus on the bums of these women. I legit actually get scared in this moment here.
Barking.
Let's go! What was that?
That's scary.
Then I learn that there is only one thing that I currently hate about Back 4 Blood so far. There is no dedicated flashlight button, and it only comes on in set dark places, which is kinda lame if you can't really see the game that well. Then we head into this gas station and save some people who clearly just wanted their senpai in the building, and then we head to this library afterwards. We then board up these windows to make it, quote, secure or something, which is totally gonna work. I mean, come on, we definitely don't have chargers out here. And then make a break for some apartments to help even more survivors that definitely don't need our help. On the start of the next level, Barroom Blitz, we are literally going to have a bar fight across the street with some Ridden. And well, I think it only makes sense here, so let's have a little bit of fun. In doing so, we allowed several buses to escape, and then we do the same in a Humvee. And with that level completed, KB ended her stream, and I stopped recording for the night and logged out. So, what is my final verdict on Back 4 Blood? From my first 2 hours of playing the game, I genuinely enjoyed it. The design of these levels, or campaigns I guess, feels fresh, but still fun to navigate through, and providing some challenge to figure out where you're going, since there's not really a clear indication. The weapon choice of variety is also large, and provides players with a wide range of choices depending on their skill level as well as their playstyle. The card system is also very much a highlight, and I think it's a big point of talk for a lot of people. It definitely does provide a lot of different playstyle choices depending on what you want to do, whether you're focusing on a healing type build, or a build that pertains to snipers, or maybe something with Ridden. There's always a unique feel with these card systems, and it definitely provides a lot of usability and free ability. I guess that's a word. I'm definitely really interested in Back 4 Blood, and I'm great to see where it goes after its release. However, is this the true Left 4 Dead successor that we have been waiting for? And it's honestly hard to say. For some, I think that with the card system and the way the game functions in general, Back 4 Blood might be a hit or miss to some. But definitely when I say that it does feel right at home with Left 4 Dead, even if it's got some new modern tricks up its sleeve. For me at least, it sure as heck did nail the Left 4 Dead vibes, both with its level design, its characters, and much more. And so for now, I'll leave it at that. My name is PandaPowerSauce. Remember to stay saucy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.